Good afternoon, everybody. This is a double episode of episode 66. Thanks for joining us today again on the show. And our afternoon topic is about keeping valuables safe and not carrying too much money around. Joining me back in the studio again, good afternoon to Oscar. Thanks for joining me again for this double episode of episode 66.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me again.
Well, this afternoon on the show, we'd like to talk about being responsible for your valuables and keeping your backpack locked up, zipped up, and not allowing strangers to come near you. Joining me again in the studio to open this important topic. Good afternoon to Oscar. Thanks for coming back on the show with me.
Thank you for having me, Barry, and it's a very important topic we're talking about.
Never carry large amounts of money around with you, and do not, we repeat, do not tell anyone about how much money you've got on your credit card. Here's my outsider to open this important topic.
As Barry is saying, don't tell anyone how much money you got on your credit card, because then they might try and rob you.
And never allow anyone to access your PIN if you are near an automatic teller machine. Here's my outsider.
That's right, don't let anyone access that if you're an automatic teller, because if they find your PIN, they steal your card, they can take everything from you.
And always have someone with you, especially if you're in a wheelchair. Here's my outsider.
Yes, as Barry said, if you're in a wheelchair, you might have your bags on the back of your chair, and you won't be able to see anyone behind you. So always have someone with you if you can.
And never take too much money off your credit card, because you may need to use that money on your credit card to pay for your taxi or for your groceries. Here's my outsider.
Yes, as Barry was saying, you do have expenses to pay for public transport or taxes as well, so make sure you don't take too much off your credit card as well.
Otherwise, because if you take too much money off your credit card, then you won't be able to pay for what you need. Here's my outsider.
Yes, as Barry was saying, if you take too much off your credit card, then you won't be able to pay for those essential services like taxes and that as well.
And also you may need to pay for bills with your credit card too. So think about how much money you take out of the ATMs. Here's my outsider.
Yes, as Barry was saying, make sure you think about how much money you take out of the ATMs, because if you have any bills or outstanding statements to pay for.
And don't give your credit card to strangers either, because they could easily access your PIN and withdraw money for drugs. Here's my outsider.
Yes, as Barry was saying, you don't want that to happen, because it can be illegal to withdraw illegal drugs, and you don't want them to access your PIN.
And be safe out in the community, guys. Don't leave your credit card for the thieves to gain access to. Here's my outsider.
Exactly what Barry's saying. Don't let them gain access to those things because it's very important for you that you keep everything personal and private.
And don't tell anybody about going to the ATMs because they could become very concerned for your welfare, especially if you're going near a bank, especially for people in wheelchairs. Here's my outsider.
This is Barry saying it's extremely important that if you're going to a hotel or a bank, that you have someone with you so no one can be exploited.
And if you or don't keep your mobile phone out because somebody may steal that. Here's my outsider.
This is Barry saying keep your mobile phone close to you, like on a chain, so no one can steal it from you.
And don't give strangers your phone number or email address because they could stalk you if you're out in the community or even come to your address. Here's my outsider.
This is Barry saying keep all those things private and personal to only people you want to connect with, who you know.
And don't get into a car with strangers. It's another thing that's important on this afternoon's show. Don't get into a car with a stranger you don't know or the person who you might know that's driving the vehicle. Here's my outsider.
This is Barry saying don't do that. Don't get into a car with strangers and make sure if you are getting into a car, you know that person well before you get in. No matter if you're if you have a disability or not.
And if you're at a club, please don't talk to strangers because they might spike your drink. Here's my outsider.
This is very important that you don't do that because you might get spiked and they might take the money from you.
And don't ask strangers for money either. Here's my outsider.
Don't ask strangers for money because you don't know what they're going to ask in return.
And please, zip your money up, zip your wallet up, put it in a safe money pouch, and keep it in your bag so that strangers can't get at it. Here's my outsider.
Barry saying keep it zipped up, locked away, and so don't have it on display so no one can see it and try and take it from you.
And don't carry hundreds of dollars in your wallet because that is a no-no. Please don't do that. Keep some money at home. Here's my outsider.
As Barry was saying, if you keep $100, hundreds of dollars in your wallet, that's an easy target to get robbed. So make sure you have small amounts of money that you only need for the day, so you're less likely to be targeted by thieves.
And make sure you are close to a phone so that you can ring the police if you do get robbed. Here's my outsider.
As Barry mentioned earlier before, there's always that emergency number 000 or 112. And if you do get robbed, try and remember everything that happened so they can find the culprit.
And give the police the description and the gender of the person and how tall they are. Here's my appearance as well and what they were wearing. Here's my outsider.
This is Barry saying all those small little detailed information is very important so they can find the person and give them the response that they need.
So always be ready to give the police the details that they need to know about the robbery and where the robbery took place, because these days most places have closed circuit television. Here's my offsider.
This is Barry saying, if you try to stay out in public areas, most places would have some sort of surveillance cameras around, and they can track the person down as quickly as they can.
And give the age of the person, whether it's male or female. Here's my offsider.
It's a very good important thing to say, Barry. Age and gender as well. Very important.
So it's very important as well when you are speaking to the media, stick to the story, stick to the subject. Here's my offsider.
This is Barry saying it's extremely important to stick to what you saw and what you know, and not make it out to be something a lot more than it is.
Because it may find it difficult for the police to track the person down, and like as I said this morning on the show, carry a notebook and the pen. If you witness a robbery, write the details down of where the robbery took place. Okay. The suburb and the street. Here's my offsider.
Barry is saying, right, have all those important details down. So if you have to talk to police, you can. And hopefully you don't get robbed, but these are the best tips if you do.
And also there is a number, 131444 is the number for non-emergencies. Here's my offsider.
That's right, that's a number you can call for non-emergencies, and they're about Crime Stoppers. You can give all those details to another police officer on duty.
And always be precise, stick to what you know, get the facts right, and don't make unnecessary assumptions and don't jump to conclusions. The police are out there to help everyone. Here's my offsider.
Yes, as Barry was saying, the police are out there to help everyone. So give them time, let them do their job. But it's not easy.
And don't hound the inspector either. Here's my offsider.
As Barry was saying, don't hound the inspector either, because they're doing their job. They have a lot of things going on as well, but your situation is important to them as well.
Hopefully this video has given you an insight on how to keep safe during this difficult time. And if you are going to be home late, please inform the person of where you are and what time you are going to be back. Here's my offsider.
As Barry was saying, all those things are very important to inform exactly where your movements are and what's going on and what's happening.
So, we do hope that you watch this important video, Stranger Danger, and keep your kids safe during the school holidays too. Here's my offsider for his closing message on this.
As Barry was saying, keep your kids safe, make sure they are with friends, and everyone have a happy holiday.
And as we said, don't get into a car with someone that you might know because they may have a knife or gun. here's my offsider.
As Barry's saying, make sure you get into a car that you know the people and you don't always adhere to stranger danger.
So don't talk to strangers, guys out there. Ring 000 if you do get robbed or threatened, but if it's not a life-threatening emergency, like we say, leave 000 alone. You can ring the police direct on 131 444, and here's my offsider for his closing message on non-emergencies.
As Barry said, it is exactly a very good point, is to call those numbers unless you are in an emergency. Call the other number if it is an emergency, but it still doesn't mean it doesn't matter. It's always important to them as well.
So we do hope that you will watch this video, ladies and gentlemen, and that's segment 6 and the double episode of episode 66. Join me again next Tuesday morning from 9:30 here at Tonight's Cash, and Oscar, thanks for being on the show again. Lovely to be here, and head off at my offsider now to say good afternoon to you and his farewell now.
Thank you everyone for joining us. I hope you're going to listen to our show and leave some comments about it.
And watch our show.
And have a great day, and I'm sure we'll see you all again.
And we'll see you on Monday for another video again, and we'll be giving you some more safety tips for the school holidays. And just a reminder, before we do leave you, daylight saving on Sunday, 2 a.m. Don't forget to put your clock for 1 hour before you go to bed. And now it is time to go and draw this video and our show to a close today. Thanks for your company today on the show, and I look forward to your company tomorrow back at the studio at the house, and I would hope that you enjoy the rest of this Tuesday. But for myself, Barry, Fear and Oscar, we wish you a very happy Tuesday afternoon. Safe driving, everybody. Thanks for your company on the show this afternoon, and we will see you on Monday. Here's my offsider for his farewell now.
Thanks everyone for joining, and we'll see you on Monday, public holiday.
So remember, never talk to strangers. Don't get into a car with someone who you might know or trust, because you never know what they might do to you or your kid. And on that note, guys, it is time for us to draw this video to a close. The time is 2 o'clock. Thanks for your company today, and I look forward to your company tomorrow. Until tomorrow morning then, I'm Barry Fear. Thanks for watching, and I will see you tomorrow at the house. Have a good afternoon, everybody. Take care. Have a nice rest. See you later.